Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Joni Misiak. Today has been a struggle. I had plans to record a few episodes for my podcast here, and I've been overwhelmed by candida symptoms. Now, if you are just landing on this episode and haven't listened to the past few, I shared how I've been going through healing my gut. It's an overgrowth of yeast in my gut called candida. Anyways, it brings in brain fog, fatigue, and today I'm feeling the fatigue so hard. And even brain fog, where it makes being creative and how I usually come about creating this podcast a little bit more difficult. So today I decided to just plug it all in, get my mic set up, and just see what happens. So please be patient. I'm still talking about the topic I planned on talking about today, which is moving backwards. As you can tell, I have days where I feel like I'm moving backwards. I've been going through the self-love journey for over a decade, possibly a little bit more now, actually. And I thought I had all the tools I needed in my toolbox. I have a lot of things. And on top of that, I'm a certified master empowerment coach. And I've gone through training to help me move through emotions and things like that. And one of the things that come with the candida, healing process, or even before you even know that you have candida, is mood swings too, like some serious things. And I have times where I'm like, this is not me. I'm saying words, I can hear myself talking or in sometimes yelling, and it's not me. So again, today I'm sharing about moving backwards because it doesn't feel good. I have all these tools. I have all these, things I know what to do in situations. I know how to move up the empowerment scale. I know how to write down things in a journal so I can get them out of my body. However, it's been this new learning thing and a journey and all that fun stuff. But the other thing is, you mix that with fatigue, and there's times where I don't want to do anything. I have so much passion within me to help others. And then there's days where I still have that passion, but I get roadblocked by fatigue. Why am I sharing this all with you? It's not for you to feel sorry for me. I am just being open and honest of where I'm sitting right now. And hopefully that if you're feeling sometimes like you're going backwards, this will help you realize that you're not really going backwards. And I'll share more in a minute and a few things you can do to just, ride this wave out. Because here's the thing, we all go through different waves and things in our lives. There's curveballs that get thrown at us and, things just shift and change. And we're changing within that. And sometimes it's us that are changing before our surroundings are changing, or outer sources are changing. And it can just be tricky when you're in there, when you know you've been at a good place. Like maybe you've been on a really good, vibe. I remember right before the height of my candida overgrowth happened, and this is before I knew it happened, I was so excited for a new year. I had huge goals, I had big dreams, and I was so excited. And then I had a couple weeks of holidays there where I was eating lots of sweets and different things, and that's what feeds candida. And I didn't know it at the time what was going on, but that's what happened. And then it got worse. So I started my new year not feeling good. So I went from feeling like in a really good place. I had really good habits in place. I had really good things happening. And then, a couple weeks and it all shifted. I felt fatigued and things like that. So if you ever feel like you're going backwards, and maybe that's why you're listening to this episode right now, you feel like you're going backwards, there's a few things you can do right now. And one is that you're even just realizing that you're feeling off. Awareness is so important. When you know that something's not right, it's so good because then you can look at it, first off, you pause and be like, what is going on? Why don't I feel good? Or why is something not working anymore? Or what's going on? So then you can ask yourself, why do I think I'm moving backwards? It's so important to figure out like what feels off. What part of it feels like you're going backwards? Like maybe you just lost sight of your routine and you're just having a hard time getting back into it. And then it's like, okay, well, what's your routine? And why do you want to go back to that routine? Did it feel good before? And things like that. And then ask yourself, what do you need right now that might be different than what used to be? And here's the thing, it's okay if you need something different. Sometimes we stay in a routine and that routine is great at the moment that it's working and everything, is awesome sauce, everything's, flowing. And then something happens, and then we try to go back to that old routine. That old routine might not be suiting who you are now. Because, like I said before, we're constantly changing and evolving, and things outside of ourselves are also changing. I know for me, it's like I have 2 children, and our stages are like our family is always constantly changing and shifting our schedules, how we do things around the house, because as they get older, things change. When they were babies, like we could take them everywhere. They were in those car seats that you carry around. And at the same time, once they got a little older, they were napping in the afternoon and we wanted to be home so they could nap. So then we couldn't do anything in the afternoons. And then we'd do something later in the evening, but then come back for their bedtime. And then once school started, same thing, right? Like it's constantly changing. And so is life. So you might actually need something different than what you're searching for or trying to reach back to. And I know for me, I'm still finding what's going to work for getting me out of these fatigue moments. Sometimes I have really great days, especially since I've cleaned up my eating again and I'm on a candida free diet to help get rid of the candida in my gut and heal my gut in the process. So I'm feeling better, but I still have days where it feels like an uphill battle. I know for me personally, I have to, one, make sure I'm not getting in my own way and making an excuse. Like, am I just being lazy? Because that happens, right? We can have lazy days where I don't want to do anything. But then I also have to be real with myself. Like, there's moments where I actually push through the fog and I'm like, oh, that was easy. Then there's other days that's a little bit more challenging. And honestly, today was one of those days. So it's looking at what's working for you, what worked for you, but like what might need to change now to work better. And then ask yourself, what can you do right now for yourself to make yourself feel better? Because the thing is, it could be like even just a switch of something. For me, I put on my diffuser with some beautiful smelling essential oils. Like, okay, I really need to shift my mood, shift my energy. I don't have enough energy to get on my trampoline to rebound right now. And even music, I'm just not feeling it. And usually I lean on music so hard, but I wasn't feeling it. So it's just finding what works for you at that moment. And it could be going for a walk outside. And even a moment ago before getting on here where I'm like, okay, I can do this. I looked outside and looked at my surroundings and I leaned into gratitude for how grateful I am for being able to see the view of the mountains. So it's what do you need right now to feel good? And it might not be long-term feel good, but even a little bit to get you grounded in like a loving feel instead of like frustrations. Because sometimes when we're moving backwards, or at least feeling like we're moving backwards, we can feel frustrated. And I say we because I'm there too, right along there as well, where I have moments of frustration. I was frustrated before recording this episode where I'm like, why can't I just have energy? Why can't I just be focused? Like it used to come so easily to me. I'd sit down and I could record quite a number of episodes at one time. And today it feels like a challenge. I'm like, why? So I feel the frustrations as well. And the other thing to remember is it's okay to feel like you're going backwards. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going backwards. It means that life is changing and you're doing something differently right now. And it might not even be long term or permanent, but it's the phase that you're in the moment. And it's really important to remember that when, things get frustrating and you feel like you're going backwards, it could even be like take 2 steps forward and 3 or 4 back. I know with my candida treatment, I'm feeling like that. Even with my energy levels and brain fog, I can feel like that. But I have to remind myself that it's a phase, that I'm healing my gut, and that someday I will have my energy back and I will be that very energetic, possibly even more than I can ever remember, energetic self. And I'm so excited. So it's also leaning into your why, like your whys in your life. Like, so before I got on here, I'm like, remember my whys. And one of my whys is like obviously with healing my gut. And it's to remind myself, like when I'm leaning towards some of the old foods I used to gravitate towards, even like cheese and wine and stuff like that, I have to remember my why, that I want to feel better, that I want to be myself, my energetic, awesome, like woo self, like super excited because I'm like at like a mid level and I'd like to be way up there again, like high level of energy again, because I used to be not even that long ago. Anyways, so it's remembering your why. And like my other why was like why I'm on this podcast right now is I'm reminded like how much I want to help other people. And even though I was feeling crappy today, I figured why not give it a shot? Why not still show up and do the best I can today? My best is going to be different every day. And I got to practice what I preach. And I've said before, like every day we're going to be different. So just show up the best you can. And today, this is me giving it my all. Is it my all I always give? Maybe not. Could I improve? Probably. But this is me today, giving you like everything I got. I'm laying it all on the table today, giving you it like as much as I possibly can today, because it fills me with so much joy to help other people. And hopefully somewhere in this, I have helped you on some level, or maybe it's, giving you some aha moments or something that you're like, oh, I really need to share this with a friend because I think they could use this. And this is what I do. I really love helping people. So if my struggles and my challenges, can help others, then it was worth going through these struggles and challenges. And also, I know for me personally, I will be a stronger, more empowered person on the other side of this. And as I'm in the middle of the mess, uh, I will be sharing. Now, I'm not going to be sharing every single episode about my candida experience. However, I am living it right now. So it will creep in on time to time. And there's going to be days where, I'm struggling and I'm going to own it and I'm going to share it with you because I really am mindful of how I show up and I want to be honest. I want to be authentic. I spent so many years being a people pleaser and adapting to what people wanted to hear and wanted me to be instead of just being me. So today I lay it all on the table as it is, where I'm at, and I really hope that, this has helped in some level, or maybe somebody that this could help and share the love because, we all have moments where we just feel like we're going backwards. But remember, we're not going backwards. We're just shifting and we're actually growing as a person. You, me, we're all growing. And I want to leave you with this. This is my own quote. It popped in my head in one of those moments that inspired, inspiration struck. Doesn't happen as much these days, but it does happen. Usually around water. Anyways, here it is. When things get hard, love yourself more. Okay, remember that. When things get hard, love yourself more. And that is where the magic is really happening, anyways, because in these struggles and challenges, you get to know yourself better. You get to strengthen your love with your love for yourself and life and come out the other side stronger and more in love with yourself. And that is totally amazingly awesome. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Sending you so much love. Take care. Bye for now.